Hey there, traders. Christian from Hertz Tribeca Trade Group with your end of day recap for Tuesday. And nice rebound recovery day. Kind of thought that was in store for us after yesterday's really nice, I would say, recovery again from the lows, from the overnight lows on Monday session, and nice recovery yesterday, and then today was the bounce day. When we got in today, there was really not a lot of activity. I would say for the first I would say half hour to 45 minutes, it was really quiet. There was very little option activity and very little movement in the indices. We were actually down. I had tried playing at the beginning of the day some cues, just a starter position for a day trade, and they really weren't going anywhere. They were, in fact, moving down a little bit. I think they were down about 20 basis points, so I just stepped out of those for a minute. And then we got kind of what I wanted to share in front of us is the consumer confidence that came in much higher than expectations. So 125.6, they were looking for 114. Also, the previous month revised up. And once you kind of see this type of information that comes out, it is, again, consumer confidence, more sentiment, but more of, I would say, bucket of the leading indicators rather than we get GDP later in the week, which is a lagging indicator. We also got Richmond Fed manufacturing. All this data came out a half hour after the open, which was much better than expectations as well. 22 versus 15. Just really nice numbers. And the market kind of took off after that. So SPYs, Qs, IWM didn't really matter which one you were in. I went into IWM and had some nice little profits in IWM today, the small caps. I just figured, I thought it set up very nicely. I got in on the first break of the value area today, which was right here, and just kind of rode this all the way through the day. And I actually exited here, and we actually recovered. Probably not the best place to exit the whole trade, but I did take some profits up here as well, all along the way. So that was a nice trade today in the room. We hit a couple other ones that worked out really well. Dow was a name that I put on yesterday, basically on the lows. So pretty much took profits in this all the way to the top of the rally for today. Amazon, we put on a short put spread and long call spread, and I took off the short put spread today for profit, so I'm just sitting with the call spread. This actually looks pretty interesting to me. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do at the end of the day with Amazon. I just kind of left my call spread in place, but notice we're back up to the top of value. This is where we failed, back on what 321, and that was the one day of volatility that we've really had, other than Monday's overnight section where, going back to this day where we started higher and then went lower. So we're right back there, and I think Amazon may be looking for a push. So really the level to watch here, let's see if I can just get this right here. The level to watch for tomorrow is, call it 859.20. And that's the top of value on March. I know we're going to be in a new month, which is April in a couple of days here, but it has been going sideways here for about a month and kind of looks poised, I think, to possibly take that leg higher. Watch for things like an MACD crossover, which we haven't gotten yet. So kind of just looking at the chart, just looking to see, sometimes like the MAC, an MACD crossover with the breakout of the value area is really what I like to see. So besides that, besides a couple of the nice plays that we hit in the trading room, I also took off a couple trades. CIT was a small winner. TS, we saw this, I've been holding this position for a couple weeks, I think now. Huge winner today as it gapped up today. I think they had some analyst day comments. Their CEO, I believe, was speaking, but I mean, the thing was up over 5%. Really huge winner that we put on a couple weeks ago. A couple other small winners today. ON, which we saw repeat call activity in this name. So I got into this name about a week ago after we saw a big block of calls, and then we saw more calls today in ON Semi. I like this name. I've done pretty well in option activity in this name, but you can see that big sweep opening in the May calls. May 15s, and also these May 15s and 16s went up today. So I'll have to check open interest. I don't know if they're just rolling out to a different strike, but these definitely went up aggressively. So besides that, what also kind of gave us a kick higher was oil. Oil kind of coincided. When we came in the morning, and I've been saying this, kind of beating a drum with this one. Sorry, let me just take off market breath here. We don't need that on here because the market is closed. This way you can see a little bit more of the charts. But the pattern has been with oil for the last couple weeks is sometimes we start the day higher and then we just kind of fade. So right when the pit opened, we were up about 1%. There was, I think it was the story on Libya not producing as many barrels. But you did see it kind of sell off a little bit, but we didn't give back all the gains, which I'll take that as a positive, considering that we've just seen oil crumble every time in the morning that it's been up. So it did finally start to turn the corner a little bit. It didn't close on the highs, but at least we're first time that we've seen the price action actually close above this yellow line on my charts, which is the 5 period exponential moving average. So baby steps with this one. It's some progress was made. Then also look at what happened. We can look at the VIX. The VIX got crushed again today, so all the way back from touching 15 to back to 1153, down to the lows just in basically 2 days, or almost back to the lows. So that also, you kind of look at these things together and say, wow, the VIX is really getting crushed today, down 7%. So that kind of felt like we were in good shape today. Also, transports. I don't talk about the transports every day, but real nice move in the transports today. I've noticed this. I didn't take anything. IYT is a very difficult ETF to trade. Normally you could just it's better to place a couple single names like the airline names or the rail names. They all did pretty well today, but I noticed this was really catching some momentum right around. You can see it did kind of give back some of those gains today, but man, this thing shot up nice and finished the day a little bit off the highs, but up 1.8%. Looking at where this is, it's right up against maybe coming back into some resistance, some overhead resistance in the IYT ETF, but some real nice names. One name that I'm looking at today, I did not put the trade on. I just don't want to go gung ho with adding trades today. But JetBlue, I was taking more profits than anything else and taking a little bit of trades off. Take a look at JetBlue. A nice move here. I owned JetBlue a couple weeks ago, and I kind of was just reducing some risk. So unfortunately, I took this one off, and it did what I thought it was going to do. Nice move. You had your defined support, 200-day moving average, but sometimes you just don't hold through these things, even though there was no real stop that hit for me. So JetBlue now moving back up and a real nice day, up 2.6%. Again, you got your defined support. You can actually now use the top of this range, which would be the top of value or maybe the new value area for April, which is still developing, but real nice move out of that sideways trend. I'm upset I missed it, that I missed this one because I did have this on into the end of last week, I think. So whoops. A couple other names or a couple other points for today. I would say both bonds. We were looking at bonds this morning because they were up and they've gotten up to this range, and this could be another failure. So this is I would call this 1, 2, 3, 4 times we've touched this level. So I've still not I really haven't been trading bonds too much because I've been waiting to see what either they're going to break up or they're going to break down. This is almost a double bottom at this point. Just don't know where this is going to lead to. But obviously, when you start the day higher and end on the lows, that's usually doesn't bode well. So I would think bonds might be headed downward further, considering that we stalled again at this resistance. And maybe we're just they're just trying to figure out which way they want to go next. Again, big down move, big sideways move, failure to kind of break above, failure to break down. So we just have to kind of wait and see with what bonds are going to do next. But I would think the next move is going to be lower in bonds and rates go a little bit higher. Also, gold. Gold and bonds have been moving in tandem. For the net. I can't say it right now because it's late in the day. But they've been moving together for the last couple weeks. And same thing. Gold started the day higher. It was actually getting a little bit of a bid right around 9:30ish, and stalled out and finished down on the day. So not quite as bad as bonds, but notice where that big white line is. That's a 200-day moving average. Not able to get above there. Silver actually held the gains and is now right back above the 200-day moving average. I had tried a long here and got stopped out using the 200-day moving average as a as a stop price. Who knows? Maybe I probably will wait to see if this gets above one more day, and then maybe try silver again. I think that would just be, for me, just good to have something different going on. I'm just kind of just going around the world a little bit, but what also looked pretty good today again was Europe. Europe was pretty strong. Just to see how that finished for the day, you had Euro stocks up 80 basis points. The DAX finished up 1.3%. If you remember yesterday, the DAX was down about 60 basis points. The Euro stocks were down only about I think 20 or 30 basis points. I'd rather just show you than go off my memory. But yeah, I got it right. They were down 20 basis points yesterday. So every time it seems to be we have little decreases and we have big up days in Europe. So finally, I hear financial, I hear CNBC. I always give them a hard time, but it's been weeks where we've been talking about the move in Europe. And now they're finally saying, hey, maybe it's not so much about what's going on with our politics and more about what's going on around the globe. Yeah, hello. That's exactly what's been going on. And again, all you have to do is take a look at this right column to see how much the U.S. markets have been underperforming the rest of the world this year. So was a real nice move, up 1.3% in the DAX. We actually saw some call buying. Fez, which you go back to this Eurostox 50. This is what the Fez looks to track. So some May calls. I actually got involved in a January call spread. I don't want to go that short out to May. They do have that French election that's coming up. So I went out a little bit further. I like the trend, which has just basically been up the last. I don't want to jinx it, but has basically just been up and away going on in Europe. So I want to stick with that trend. So that's why I decided to get in that trade. We put a big section in the weekend newsletter about Europe, not only the Euro stocks, but also France, Italy, Spain. And I'm also watching Greece today too, which I think we talked about Greece, I think, in yesterday's video. And sure enough, the damn thing's up 25 cents today. I was like, let me wait a little while. The thing's up another 3% today. So we did see that Greek call buyer yesterday. Small trade, but it's moving the right way. So this one, we may be catching early here. Again, I don't have anything on. I decided to put on an Italy trade, EWI, which is fine. That thing's looks like it's definitely moving the right way as well. That's the Italy ETF. So other than that, I've been going on here for about 12 minutes. Just a lot of things to talk about today. Other trades for today. A lot of energy buying today. So we really haven't seen this too much, but we've seen some buyers come in. We saw some XLE and XOP, which I mentioned in last night's video. XLE and XOP, both of the energy ETFs, saw some call buying late yesterday, but more of this. A couple other names in here that are energy related. Some OAS, which is probably one of the most sensitive names. How come I'm not seeing that here? Here it is. OAS. Some April calls. These were swept. These went up aggressively. I actually put this name on in cash. So I've got a cash trend portfolio that I started that subscribers get to see and get to see real time, in addition to the option trades. So a lot going on at Tribeca Trade Group. You could see our cash positions. You could see, again, I'm not going to show you what the spreadsheet looks like, but I predefine all the stop prices so that which are all based on moving averages. So I've got about, I think now 8 positions that I've got in cash that are all defined based on volatility, predefined stops. So something really different that I've decided to do in cash with a lot of positions that are like, stocks that are around like under $30. I've been doing that in. And again, that's in addition to all the trades that you get in the option real-time trades, that alerts that you get. But just kind of finishing out, I think I mentioned ON. We saw call buying in that name. ATI, I like this name as well. This is Allegheny. This is a material name. Take a look at where this thing bounced, right on the 200-day moving average. The moving average is not really sloping up that much, but if you look at where the stock was at 24 and caught support right at the 200-day moving average, I think really well-defined support here if you want to give that one a shot. Again, $17 stock. Besides this, HUN, we caught this one. Pat mentioned this one as well. Great catch in the beginning of the day. Look at HUN break out here. There were some positive comments as well from, I believe, the CEO about merging with someone. LYB, another material name, saw some call buying as well. This one's worked pretty well in option activity before. Sorry, I'm using a different. I'm using Thinkorswim. So moved right into some resistance. But again, nice move up here. We didn't talk about the financials, but the financials did pretty well today. They were up nicely. There was a little bit of call buying in J.P. Morgan, calls being bought, and I believe versus a put sale. So pretty nice looking trade there. So I think we covered. There was one other trade that caught my eye today. I did put this on in options, VIAV. This name, it kind of, I actually ended up losing a little bit of money today because I probably put this on when it was a green candle. So something to watch in the next couple of days is if this name can continue to push higher and continue upward with this trend. So it's just at resistance right now. We'll see if it can make that next push higher. I feel like I'm missing one other thing that happened today. In block, I do look at cash block trades. Just a couple really nice block trades that went up earlier. Let's see if I can find it. If not, I could tell you. But I think there was close to 1 million shares that were bought in the ILF ETF. Here it is. 825,000 shares in the ILF ETF. That is Latin America. That's a lot of Brazil, but it's also Mexico, Peru, Chile. That chart looks really nice to me as well. That's ILF. That's Latin America. So if you want a little combination of not just EWZ Brazil, but all the other Latin American countries, that's the way to go. EEP, which I think may have been further down here. There was also another buy. Here it is. 600,000 shares. I checked the prints on this one. This was bought as well, aggressive buy. So continue to see a lot of buying going on around the globe. So that's it for today's recap. I don't mention it every video or every night, but since I mentioned the services that you get, which I have to add the cash portfolio, the trend portfolio as I call it. But I don't know anybody who puts out the services again that we do. We use Slack for our group chat. We also do live trading sessions as well throughout the day. So get involved. TryBigATradeGroup.com. Again, our special that we're running right now is half off the first month. If you don't try this, I think you're silly. But we do this kind of analysis, thorough analysis all day long. I come on whenever I get into a trade and out of a trade, so you know exactly what we're doing at all times. So thanks very much for watching the video and have a great night. Thank you.